And welcome back to the Sahara Desert where we must be slowly dying because we are seeing a mirage on the field.
Absolutely. We have two nearly identical setups. While when someone doesn't ban Dominix, we do expect both teams might bring Dominix. In this case, they have brought nearly the same setup.
Absolutely. On DarkSide, we have triple Dominix, Damnation Legion, and Ishgars. On the Darkness Despair side, we have triple Dominix, Damnation Legion, and triple Vengeances.
It's interesting that DarkSide came in a point short. Darkness of Despair have a 1 point advantage going into this. When you're flying these sort of tinker setups, I'd be really squirrely about bringing a setup short of points. I mean, in a setup like this, if nothing dies, you lose the match. So I don't know, but right now we're gonna see what happens here. The match is underway. Ships are moving. I don't even know where to go with this. It's going to be a skill matchup, I guess.
Yeah, what we're probably going to see both sides attempt to do is to take down some of those frigates. It looks like the Punisher on Darkness of Despair, Dirty Coyote, is being primaried and is actually getting a lot of damage applied to it, but the Legion caught reps just at the right moment. On the DarkSide side, the Ishgur of Bow 4 is being primaried, but the Legion has no trouble whatsoever keeping it up and repped.
It looks like Darkness of Despair have dropped Curator 2s, while DarkSide have dropped Guard 2s.
Interesting. I don't really see why you would do that, except to if you are probably about 70, 80 kilometers away from each other and you want to ensure that the other team doesn't move out of your drone optimal, but still.
It looks like they might be about that far apart, but it's an interesting decision that may make a difference. It may not. Honestly, the tanks are so strong on these setups that small mistakes like that, or even if it is a mistake, may not impact. We do have an Ishgar at half army for El Nomada, but we see reps getting down on him. Whether or not he'll be able to keep up is something we'll see shortly. But he doesn't look like he's in too much trouble right now. So this may just be a back and forth, everyone testing each other to see where there might be a mistake made, and we'll see what happens.
That's right. On the Darkness of Despair side, they are correctly trying to swap between the multiple frigates here to try to catch that Legion off guard. They should shortly probably start actually splitting fire between Ishgars as well, but if they're firing EM damage, I don't see that taking them anywhere too far along with that. The Punisher on the Darkness of Despair side is still being primaried, but at this point in time, DarkSide should recognize that they are not going to break that Punisher unless this Legion makes a horrible, terrible mistake.
Yeah, the Ishgars have Warrior 2s out going across the field. Again, explosive damage against Vengeances, kind of an unfortunate choice. That's why they were probably on the Punisher, but they're not breaking the Punisher. They're not having anything broken, so...
About the only exciting thing about this match before going into it was the prospect of going into reverse tie-dye. Unfortunately, with DarkSide fielding 1 point less, that's not going to happen, and Darkness of Despair will take this victory unless DarkSide does something drastic. And now's about the time that DarkSide needs to either... well, there's not a lot they can do from that distance. I was going to say they should close up, try to put some newts and whatnot on them, but they're never going to make across 80 kilometers in 7 minutes with no prop mods whatsoever.
No, especially not if the Darkness of Despair guys see them coming, and I'm sure they would. It would take them about 5 minutes to get there, and they would just motor in the other direction as well. This is... this is what I was saying when we started up the match, is you go into a tinker setup where you're probably going to field another Dominix team. You can't gamble and pray that they bring a kind of gank Dominix setup that's not a tinker. You have to expect a Dominix tinker, and if you face a Dominix tinker, you can't expect that you, with your extremely low DPS with your own tinker, are going to break theirs. So why would you come in 1 point short and give them the free win?
That's right. This is a little bit... a play that I would have not expected DarkSide to get so wrong. Traditionally, they have been a great tournament team. They, in fact, dropped Pandemic Legion out of the quarterfinals, I believe, in '89. They've done quite well, always managed to get into quarter or semifinals, but not quite make it all the way. This time around, unfortunately, they are going to drop down to the losers bracket, and they have a tough time to claw their way back.
An interesting note. Darkness of Despair do not have a single drone on the field right now. I do not see a single drone on my overview that belongs to Darkness of Despair.
Yeah, at this point in time, they probably recognize there's nothing they can do. They're not going to.
Well, Darkness of Despair are in the lead. They don't have nothing they need to do.
They don't have to do anything at all. So they rightly so just pull their drones back and are probably going to start taking some distance and moving away from the DarkSide gang, forcing DarkSide either to abandon drones and follow them, or basically move out of their guard optimal range and force them to go back to curators.
And DarkSide has recognized that happening. They have pulled their guards and dropped curators now. Not that I think it's going to make a lick of difference.
No, if you were not able to bring down a Punisher with guard 2s, you're certainly not going to do it with curator 2s either.
Yep, so 5 minutes of this. We'll see. I highly doubt. Maybe there's some metagaming going on. We can hope behind the scenes. Perhaps someone's bribing someone else. Throw the match and we'll pay you. I don't know what. It would make it interesting. We have a Vengeance into armor right now. Not taking enough damage to break through it. Maybe half armor.
Taking surprisingly amount of damage. I mean, that Legion on Darkness of Despair side. Obviously splitting his reps right now between the Punisher because he's probably suspecting that DarkSide is trying to essentially force all the reps on that Vengeance and then very quickly swap back to that Punisher in hopes of essentially just breaking through his armor before those reps
and that's what
catch.
they're doing. They are splitting to actually Ukrainian Doomers taking some damage now. It's almost a game of chicken to see if this Legion pilot is going to be quick enough to keep up. If now he's pulled reps off the Punisher to put them back on the second Vengeance.
That's quite interesting. What we should see here in a moment is that Punisher being primaried again. And it is going to be quite a chore for this Legion pilot to swap his reps back to the Punisher because, of course, being armor rep-based team, it is going to take a little while. And as we see it, the Punisher is now being primaried by DarkSide. Dirty Coyote is taking significant amount of damage. However, this Legion got his reps, but is it enough? Or is he going to go down? He is reaching into structure. The last rep didn't quite swap off the Vengeance, but now all of the reps from the Legion are back on the Punishers.
While this is going on, you know that the FC for Darkness of Despair is starting to realize, actually, we could have a problem. We could lose a frigate here, and decided to redeploy drones. So they have Guard 2s back out on the field now.
That's
they
a smart
decided that
decision.
just wandering around is not going to win the match for them, so they might actually have to at least make an attempt to kill something here.
Yeah, if I was this Darkness of Despair FC, I would actually start priming the DarkSide drones.
Absolutely.
Just make absolutely no mistake about it to not give this Legion any chance whatsoever of messing up. He came very, very, very close because those reps on the Vengeance were still going on, and while the Punisher was being primary, it came very, very close whether or not those reps would cycle off and get back onto the Punisher in time.
Indeed, that was a very close moment there. Is the shield recharge on the Vengeance quite that high, or is there something else going on there? They seem to be really pulling back shields.
It just must be that high natural regen. 2.5 minutes left on the match. This is the final chance for DarkSide to pull something out of the bag before they lose by default, just by coming 1 point short. And just as you mentioned, I mean, this I really don't know what DarkSide was thinking with this setup. Coming into field, having not banned dummies, knowing that the other team were very likely to field a Tommy Dinker as well. I don't know, perhaps these two teams have been, I don't know, maybe testing against each other, which is of course allowed in this tournament format, because both of them are, I mean, that is just almost a mirror setup between each other. Both running Legion instead of Proteus reps, which is not a usual kind of a choice, but probably forced that way due to the bans.
You got to think that the captain for DarkSide is going to lose sleep tonight. He's going to be very disappointed with his choice here, assuming this continues to go the rest of the way as it is right now. He's going to be very disappointed with himself for taking a gamble on something that was really a very long odds bet. As someone who has made bad gambles before as a team captain, I can tell you I lost sleep over it, and I know he will too. And for that matter, depending on how nice his alliance mates are, he may get trolled about it, because I know I did. So we'll see. But it looks like 1:20. I think even if they were to start breaking reps, there's so little time left, so little damage on the field. Nothing will die here. The Punisher back into armor a little bit, but reps are on him preemptively. So next time, guys, you guys want to bring Dami Tinker against Dami Tinker, try to both bring 100 points so we could see the reverse tie-dye. I was really looking forward to that, and then I saw the points and was kind of crestfallen. So
Absolutely, seeing a Legion try to keep reps on frigates against 3 dummy team in 7.5 time tie-dye would be quite something. I don't think anybody would quite manage it. The Punisher on the Darkness of Despair side is being primaried once again. He has not caught reps yet. No reps whatsoever coming from the Legion yet. This could go still either way. With 30 seconds left of the match, the Punisher is entering structure. Now the
Oh
reps
my gosh! DarkSide has done it!
Wow!
They flipped the match!
What
A
happened?
buzzer beater shot. Maybe they knew that they could break through that. They could somehow. They got newts on the Legion, but I don't think that's enough. Maybe they just thought, let's just wait.
Oh
for
my
it, wait for
God.
it. Kind of Braveheart, with the spears and the charge there, waiting for the last possible second, and blap, kill the frigate.
Oh my God! This Legion repair pilot Mutufakas really made a biggest mistake I've seen this whole tournament so far from a logistics pilot. That was absolute. I have a word that I want to say, but I'm not going to on a stream since we are PG. But wow!
Well, 9.5 minutes of waiting for something to happen, and in the last 30 seconds, bam. One thing happens, changes the entire outcome of the match. Congratulations to DarkSide. I guess he will not be hating himself tonight after all, but he will probably be wiping sweat off his brow as we speak. With that, we're going to send it back to CCP Soundwave in the studio.